Hello, everyone. It's Mega Champ again, and welcome to Mega's End of the Year Awards. For real this time. Today, it is time to finally reveal the final list, the final four, however you want to put it, I guess, for Mega's Anime of the Year. As I said previously, yes, maybe I did watch enough anime to do a top five, but I guess I just am too used to doing like three and then like a special mention, so really four. It's what I'm used to doing, so it's what I will be doing here. I'm gonna try not to waste too much time because clearly, I end up doing this for far too long. But just to quickly, or a quick reminder basically of the anime that I watched this year, which is what I base it off of. The anime that I watch in the year. So keep that in mind. I don't care when the anime actually aired or technically came out. I just base it off of the anime that I watch in the year, pretty much. So once again, the anime that I watched this year was Assassination Classroom Season 2. Everything from Made in Abyss, pretty much. Season 1, Season 2, and the movies with Season 2 still ongoing. I'm watching the Toonami airing. Attack on Titan, the final season, Part 2. Demon Slayer Season 2, also known as Entertainment District Arc. Tomodachi Game. Both parts of Spy Family, Part 1 and Part 2. Part 2 is still ongoing. Odd Taxi, Shadows House Season 2, Platinum End, Dragon Pilot, Hisone and Masutan. Anyway, I'm sorry. My Hero Academia Season 6, still ongoing. Chainsaw Man, still ongoing. Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War arc, still ongoing. Godzilla Singular Point, still ongoing. And last but certainly not least, Pokemon Journeys and Naruto Shippuden, also both of those are still ongoing. So that's a quick recap of the anime that I watched this year. So it's time for the final list, which like I said before, is a list of four. I guess you could make the argument that it's really a list of three with a overall special mention, but the overall special mention is basically de facto number 4. So let's not waste any time. It's time for the Mega's Anime of the Year final list. Ooh. Anyway. Alright, so the overall special mention for me this year, basically de facto number 4, but the overall special mention this year goes to none other than sorry, I'm stalling again. It goes to Shadows House Season 2. Yeah, de facto number 4. There was really no second guessing for this one for me, honestly. I will admit, and trust me, I will admit things when they're factual and true. The first season of Shadows House had a pretty slow start, admittedly, and took, I don't even remember, around 5 episodes or so, give or take, for it to start getting good. But Season 2, good God. I mean, I don't even know where to start. Season 2 of Shadows House was good pretty much straight off the bat, and stay good throughout the entire season. Now, this particular season, I guess you could say, had the overall theme of a mystery, or a whodunit, so to speak, kind of like Ace Attorney. I don't know why I keep comparing everything to that, but it's the it's the thing that comes to mind for me. I'm sorry, but basically a whodunit. Who's the culprit, basically, And yeah, it was super intriguing and super interesting straight off the bat. And I loved it. God, it was so good. And boy, that twist of who was the real culprit, I won't spoil it. It may or may not be one of these characters that is on this image right now. Anyway, but yeah, the second season was just such a massive improvement from the first season. There's pretty much no comparison, if you ask me personally. And this series, Shadow's House, is so much better than TPN, which is The Promised Neverland, just so you know. There's really no comparison, if you ask me. This is just so much better than The Promised Neverland that it's not even close. So, for me at least, I mean, I'm not saying The Promised Neverland is bad. I mean, it's kind of bad at times. It all comes down to personal preference and opinion, obviously, but for me, The Shadow's House is just so much better, and the second season was just great from start to finish and just great overall. So, yeah, massive improvement from the previous season. Love the hell out of this anime. Hopefully it gets a third season. From what I have heard and from what others have told me, there may only be enough manga content for another season. So they might be taking a break to allow more content from the manga to come out. That's always welcome. But until then, this series is just fantastic. If I have to read the manga, I will. I hate reading manga, but for something as good as this, I am more than willing to do so. But for now, Shadow's House second season was just too good to not get something, and too good to get any sort of, special award. And the overall final list, for me anyway, is better than some sort of special award. So it gets my de facto number 4 overall special mention, because it was too good not to. Alright, now we're to the actual real list, quote unquote. So, number 3, the third best anime that I watched this year, is one that you have seen before from a previous special award. So I'm not going to go on too much about it, because I kind of already did in the special award. But the third best anime that I watched this year is, of course, Tomodachi Game. Yay! So yeah, not much more to say about this. I've said enough about it, honestly. This anime is fantastic. It blew my expectations out of the water for it, and it was just so great. It's basically like the Danganronpa franchise, except without the murder. And honestly, that makes it even better, because when you introduced characters and you kill them off, how else do you expect me to feel other than to be kind of annoyed, honestly? But, Danganronpa is what it is, but they don't do that in this franchise, and it's fantastic because of it. It just blew my expectations out of the water, and all that kind of stuff. There's really nothing else for me to say about it, because I've said enough about it, but it's just really good. And I do honestly recommend this one. At least give it a try. It's pretty much Danganronpa, because it even has a mascot that holds the game. Tomodachi Game, get it? It basically, if you don't know what that word stands for, since I guess I never actually said it, it stands for friendship game. Tomodachi Game, friendship game, where it tests everyone's friendships and deep dark secrets are brought out, and it makes everyone question their friendships, basically. So But it's basically Danganronpa without all the murder. So it was fantastic and just blew my expectation out of the water. I do honestly, like I said previously, hope it gets a second season. Because the season ended in an Ace Attorney like way where they're gonna hold a trial. Wow, this anime is just covering all the visual novels. It does make me honestly question if whoever wrote it was inspired by, the visual novels like Danganronpa and Ace Attorney. I don't know that for a fact. Obviously, I'm probably wrong here. It just feels that way. Or that's the perception that I have. But this anime was way too good. So not only does it get a special award, it's the third best anime that I watched this year because it was too good. Hopefully we see more of it and it gets a second season at some point. If it doesn't, then I will have to, unfortunately, force myself to read the manga, but for now, it at least deserves something more than just a special award. It got a special award, but it deserves more than that, in my opinion. So for me, it was the third best anime that I watched this year. Time for the top two. Oh boy. The final two. So, now the question is, what is the runner-up for me for anime of the year? In other words, the second best anime that I watched this year. Well, despite everything, it's an anime that I did hear a hell of a lot about. And it unlike certain other animes that got disappointment of the year, this anime that I heard a hell of a lot actually lived up to expectations. Oh my god! What a concept, living up to expectations. But yeah, everyone was spot on about this anime, because it really met up to expectations and was so great. It's Odd Taxi. So yeah, before you accuse me of being a furry, I mean, it's okay as never mind, I'm just gonna stop there. Yes, all of the characters are animals, or it's about a bunch of different types of animals. Or is it? Hint, hint, hint. I'm not going to spoil it, but this anime was actually far better than I was honestly expecting. It seemed just like a bunch of different stories at first, but they are all connected in one way or another, and it was just honestly fantastic. Like, the character interactions were great, the characters themselves were great, the characters' stories and all the stuff was great. Everything about it was great, honestly. I can't praise this anime enough. And the way the anime ended, good God. The best way for me to describe it, without spoiling it, of course, is that the way this anime ends is kind of like an M. Night Shyamalan twist from one of his movies. And I know you might think that's not good, or I mean that in a bad way, and I actually don't. I really don't. I actually mean that in a good way. It actually has an M. Night Shyamalan-like twist that you honestly didn't see coming, or won't see coming, and it was actually really freaking good, and had a shocking way of revealing things, so to speak. I'm trying my best not to spoil it here. But yeah, this anime was fantastic. I can't praise it enough. It's so good. Just so goddamn good. Give this anime a try, seriously. It's really good. I mean, it is Crunchyroll exclusive, I believe, and I don't think it's come out on Blu-ray or DVD yet, or I don't have one anyway, so I'm assuming it hasn't yet. It might never come out, unfortunately, but it's really good. So I do honestly recommend it. If you can, I think Crunchyroll has a like a free period. I don't know how long it is. I don't know if they took the Funimation method of it only being like 2 weeks or something. But whatever the free period is, try to get through Odd Taxi as quickly as possible because it's that good. It really is. And it deserves runner-up for me for Anime of the Year because of how good it is. It actually, it's serious, it's funny, it's just, it has everything pretty much. It has shock reveals too. So it's just good and just fantastic overall. So if you can quickly get through it, through whatever the free period is for Crunchyroll, I definitely recommend doing so. Up to you, obviously, at the end of the day, but it was just way too good. Way too good for a special award, and way too good for anything but at least either Anime of the Year or runner-up. So it gets runner-up. Second best anime I watched this year, so it's just great. Loved it. I know there's a movie that has some extra scenes in it, and I will watch it. I mean, the movie is basically a recap of the series, which can be iffy at times, but it has some extra scenes, so I will be watching it. I will be waiting for the English dub, of course, if it's English dubbed, I suppose. But yeah, it's fantastic. I definitely recommend it, and I can't praise it more. Of course, now the question becomes, well, gee, Mega, if that anime was so great, but it didn't win your Anime of the Year, what did win your Anime of the Year? That's the question, ain't it? I made a little bit of a mistake with my Anime of the Year. Originally, I had it pinned as winning Gem of the Year, but I can't give Anime of the Year a special award as well, because winning Anime of the Year is an award. Alright, are you ready? Are you sure? Anime of the Year 2022, for me personally, for me, Megachamp. Megachamp's Anime of the Year 2022, number 1 is... I can't do a drum roll. Okay, that's bad, I'm sorry. Anime of the Year 2022, for me, personally, is... Made in Abyss. This is from Movie 3. But I am giving this award to Made in Abyss in an overall sense. For Season 1, for the movies, particularly Movie 3, because the first 2 movies are recaps, just so you know. There are a couple of extra scenes in the movies, but they're not really all that important. Except for the ending scene in Movie 2. So if you feel it's necessary, because it does kind of lead into Movie 3, but... And honestly, this even applies to Season 2, which I've only seen half of now, from the episode on Toonami last night. 6 episodes. This anime was too good. I'm sorry, it really was. And I couldn't do anything but give it Anime of the Year. I'm sorry. I mean, Odd Taxi is great and all, but this anime is too goddamn good. It really is. And yes, the first season does start kind of slow, but once it starts, good God, it does not stop. That goddamn episode 10 of season 1. Good God! Make sure you're sitting down for that one. That person on the anime Discord was not... Or actually, that person on the anime Discord and anime forum was not kidding there, that's for sure. But what I would have to say, what pretty much cemented this in stone, so to speak, for Made in Abyss winning my personal Anime of the Year, was the image that I have on screen. In all honesty, Movie 3. Now, is it the best anime movie of all time? that I've watched? Probably not. It's definitely up there though with Demon Slayer Infinity Train, because good God, movie 3. I didn't really watch a lot of anime movies this year. Really none. But even if I like clump it in with the rest of the movies I watched, it's so goddamn good. It really is. So, Made in Abyss movie 3, uh I'm trying to remember what it's called. Uh Dawn of the Deep Soul or something like that. Something like that. Is just so goddamn good. Good from start to finish. Great climax. Just great overall. Bondroot is probably the best villain in Made in Abyss so far. Like, seriously. There's, like, no second guessing here for me right now. I mean, Season 2 is really interesting so far as well. Don't get me wrong. I haven't really noticed a villain there except for one of the three sages, but I don't know. But yeah, this movie 3 is so goddamn good. It really is. And good God, this anime, I swear to God, for anime involving children, where children are the main characters, I mean, God, it is so goddamn dark. Especially in movie 3. Most particularly in movie 3. Like, good God, I don't even know what else to say. It is shockingly dark. So, if you're queasy, I guess, you may not want to watch it. But even if you are, it's so good that I at least recommend trying to stomach your way through it if you're that queasy. But it is... I'm sorry, I don't know what to say because it's just so goddamn good. The first season is fantastic. The movie 3 is unbelievably amazing. And the second season... I mean, I'll admit the second season is a little on the slow side, but even it has its moments at times. So it's just so good overall and so great. And Reg here, good God, he has such a great badass moment in movie 3. It makes you cheer your head off, honestly. And he just had a badass moment again in the second season, literally from the episode that just aired on Toonami. So he's fantastic too. All the characters are great, honestly. Rico and Nanachi, they're all fantastic. The whole series is just too great. I'm sorry, it is. And I get this anime came out a long time ago, but it didn't start airing, and I didn't start watching it until this year. Like, I believe Season 1 was around the beginning of the year, and then Season 2 came out, and then it was announced for the English dub, and then they announced it was going to be on Toonami, so I had to quickly get through the movies, but I found a way to do that as well, because I always try to, because it's practically mandatory, but still. I mean, if you don't want to watch the movies, that's fine. Honestly, you'd probably be okay with just watching movie 3, but I managed to make myself watch all of the movies. If it's that important to you, which it is to me, I'm kind of OCD like that. I'm a little on the completionist side. And if it bothers you that much about the extra scenes, then I would recommend watching all of the movies, even though the first two are obviously recap movies, like I said. But if you don't want to, then just watching movie 3 is good enough, honestly. But the whole series is just so goddamn good, so goddamn fantastic, and just great overall. I don't know how quickly it's getting caught up to wherever the. Is it a light novel or a manga? I don't know which one it is, but it's one of them. I don't know how quickly it's getting caught up to that, but I do honestly hope it gets fully covered in anime format because it's too good not to. We'll see at the end of the day, but it's so good. It really is. I do honestly recommend it, even if you're a little on the queasy side when it comes to like gory like stuff. It's not even that gory, but still, I'm just kind of saying you might want to be prepare yourself is really all I can say without spoiling it. So, yeah, it was too good. I'm sorry. All of Made in Abyss is too great to not win something, and it was just the standout for me for this year. Like I said at the start before I started saying my special awards, it was a bit of a slower year that picked up at the end and got a little stacked with My Hero Academia season 6 and the final and Bleach, the final arc of Bleach Thousand Year Blood War, and Chainsaw Man and all that stuff. But honestly, this anime was too great. It really was. I'm sorry, it just was, and it was just too good for me. And there was really no thought about this. I don't know how else to put it. No second guessing. This anime's too great. So congratulations, Made in Abyss. You win Mega Champ's personal anime of the year for 2022. Yay! I don't know. I'm sorry. So yeah, that's it. That's all for Mega's anime of the year. Just as a quick recap, the overall special mention de facto number 4 was Shadow's House Season 2. Third best anime number 3 was Tomodachi Game. Anime of the Year runner-up number 2 is Odd Taxi. And Anime of the Year 2022, Mega Champs Anime of the Year 2022, number 1 personal anime of the year is Made in Abyss, for Made in Abyss overall. Mostly because of movie 3, but pretty much overall. So yeah, that's it. That's all for Mega's Anime of the Year 2022. Slower year in terms of anime. I don't know if that'll change or not. Maybe, maybe not. Depends on what happens. There are some animes I'm looking forward to, but we'll talk about that at a later time. But for now, that's all for Mega's Anime of the Year 2022. This upcoming week, maybe Wednesday again, I'll record the final video for this. I know you're so happy about that, I'm sure. I mean, I would be too, honestly. Where I reveal the final list for Mega's Game of the Year 2022. So, until then, that's all. Congratulations, Made in Abyss. You are my personal anime of the year for 2022. Like I said before, put your own lists, make your own lists, make your own videos. Everyone's opinion and experience is different, obviously. I know, it's quite the concept, ain't it? That's all. So, see you next time. That's all for Mega's Anime of the Year. Congratulations, Made in Abyss. You are Anime of the Year 2022 for me personally. Until next time, this is Mega Champ saying next time I'll be providing you with more unlimited guidance.